Close your eyes and imagine that every river in the world carries within it a whisper of ancient peace. Did you know that the sound of flowing water actually synchronizes your brainwaves, shifting them into alpha and theta frequencies, the same peaceful states found in deep meditation and the gentle edge of sleep? Tonight, as you journey with me along the most peaceful rivers in the world, you'll discover 100 soothing truths about these eternal waterways, each fact a stepping stone, guiding you deeper, deeper, into the most restful sleep. Let yourself drift now, like a leaf on calm water, floating, peaceful, completely at ease. If journeys like this bring you peace and rest, if gentle stories help you truly let go, consider subscribing, so more soothing experiences like this can find you each week. More peaceful explorations, more healing journeys, more gentle guides into deep, restorative, beautiful sleep. Now, let yourself float with me into the world of rivers, of gentle currents, of water finding its way home. Let go of everything else and simply drift deeper and deeper into peaceful rest. You find yourself standing at the edge of a tranquil river. The evening light is soft, golden, filtering through ancient trees that line the banks. The air is warm, comfortable, carrying the fresh scent of water and growing things. This river, your river, flows gently before you, its surface smooth as glass, reflecting the peaceful sky above. The silence wraps around you gently. It's not empty silence, but full, rich, alive with the soft murmur of water moving over smooth stones, the distant call of a bird settling for the night, the whisper of leaves and a breath of wind. This is the silence of peace, of nature at rest, of the world breathing slowly, easily, perfectly. Your breathing slows naturally. In and out, matching the rhythm of the river, the eternal pulse of water flowing, always flowing, never rushing, never stopping, just flowing. You breathe with the river now, becoming part of its ancient rhythm, its timeless peace. Everything feels perfectly still. Even as the river moves, there's a stillness to it, a quality of eternal presence. The water has been flowing here for thousands of years, will flow for thousands more, and in this moment, you're part of that eternity, part of that endless, peaceful flow. Deeper, deeper you relax. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches, your whole body softens. The river is teaching you already, teaching you how to flow, how to move without effort, how to simply be, and let the current of peace carry you. And here's something beautiful, something soothing to know. Every river begins with a single drop of water. Just one drop, falling from the sky, landing on a mountain peak, or bubbling out from a spring deep in the earth. That one drop finds another, and slowly, so slowly, a trickle forms. This is the first gentle truth about rivers. They teach us that all great journeys begin with the smallest, most patient steps. The silence wraps around you gently. You can almost hear it, that first drop, falling, beginning its journey. There's no rush, no urgency, just the natural flow of water, seeking, finding its path, drop by drop, moment by moment. Your breathing slows naturally. And here's another peaceful fact. Many rivers are born from mountain springs, where underground water, stored in aquifers deep beneath the earth, finally emerges into daylight, cool and clear and pure. These springs flow at a constant temperature, year-round, unaffected by seasons. This steadiness, This reliability is like your breath now, steady, constant, peaceful, always there. Everything feels perfectly still. The river before you, you realize now, began somewhere far away, high in distant mountains, starting as that single spring, that patient trickle. And over hundreds of miles, over thousands of years, it became this wide, peaceful, eternal flow. Some rivers begin from melting glaciers, ancient ice that has existed for millennia, slowly releasing water drop by drop. Glacial rivers often appear milky blue or green, colored by fine rock particles suspended in the water, ground so fine by the glacier's movement that they stay suspended, creating colors of extraordinary beauty. Like dreams, rivers can be blue, green, brown, clear, each one unique, each one perfect. The silence wraps around you gently. Can you see it in your mind? That glacial river, that impossible blue, like liquid sky, flowing from ancient ice. You're floating now, not on this river before you, but drifting through your imagination, through peaceful waters of every color, every hue, and all of them, are carrying you towards sleep. Your breathing slows naturally. In, cool air, out, warm release. The rhythm of glacial melt, the patience of water, finding its way, drip, by peaceful drip. Time means nothing to a river. It flows whether anyone watches, whether anyone knows. It simply flows. And you are learning to flow too, letting go, releasing, flowing toward rest. Deeper into relaxation now. And here's something wonderful to know. Rivers always flow downhill, following gravity, taking the path of least resistance. They never struggle, never force their way. They simply flow around obstacles, through valleys, always downward, always easy, always peaceful. This is wisdom, ancient wisdom, teaching you now to release resistance, to flow, to let gravity, let nature, let peace carry you. Everything feels perfectly still. The river moves, yes, but there's no struggle in its movement, no effort. It flows because that's what water does, effortlessly, naturally, perfectly. And you, right now, you're learning this same effortless peace. You don't have to try to relax. You just flow into it. A river's path is called its course, and that course is always changing, always evolving. Rivers meander, forming gentle curves and bends, creating loops called oxbows. These curves form because water flows faster on the outside of a bend, slowly eroding that bank, while flowing slower on the inside, depositing sediment, building up that bank. The river is literally sculpting the land, patiently, over centuries, creating beauty through gentle, persistent flow. The silence wraps around you gently. You can see these curves, these meanders, stretching out before you. The river wandering peacefully through the landscape, in no hurry to arrive anywhere. The journey itself, the flowing itself, is the destination. And you understand this now. There's nowhere you need to be, except here, flowing, resting, breathing, peaceful. Your breathing slows naturally. And here's another soothing truth. The Amazon River, the largest river by volume in the world, discharges so much water into the ocean that it dilutes the salt water for over 100 miles out to sea. Sailors once knew they were approaching South America, not by seeing land, but by tasting fresh water, while still far from shore. The river's gift, flowing into the sea, changing even the ocean, through gentle, persistent giving. Imagine that, the power of gentleness, the power of flow. Water, soft water, reshaping everything it touches, not through force, but through patience, through time, through the eternal art of letting go and flowing onward. Everything feels perfectly still. You're floating now, drifting on your peaceful river. The water holds you perfectly. You're completely supported, completely safe. The river carries you, and you trust it, completely, utterly. Your body is so heavy now, so relaxed, like you're becoming one with the water, dissolving into peace. Deeper, deeper you float. And rivers have been sacred to humans, throughout all of history. The Nile, the Ganges, the Jordan, the Yangtze. People have always understood that rivers are life. Rivers provide water for drinking, for growing crops, for sustaining all living things. Civilizations were built along riverbanks, cities grew where rivers met the sea. Rivers have always been pathways, lifelines, sources of abundance and peace. The silence wraps around you gently. Can you feel the history, the ancient peace of rivers, flowing through you now? Thousands of years of water, flowing, and you, floating on that eternal current, part of something vast, something timeless, something that existed long before you, and will flow long after. And somehow, this thought is not sad, but deeply, deeply peaceful. Your breathing slows naturally. And here's something gentle to know. Rivers are home to countless creatures, all living in peace along the banks. Otters play in the shallows, their sleek bodies gliding through water. Herons stand motionless, patient fishers, waiting with perfect stillness. Dragonflies dance above the surface, their iridescent wings catching light. All life, gathered at the river, drinking from its abundance, resting in its shade. Everything feels perfectly still. You can see them now, in your mind, the animals coming to drink at dusk, deer stepping carefully to the water's edge, their reflections perfect in the still surface. They drink deeply, gratefully, then fade back into the forest. The river gives, and asks nothing in return, just flows, just offers, just is. The Amazon River Basin contains more species of fish than any other river system on Earth, over 3,000 different species, more than in the entire Atlantic Ocean. Life flourishes where rivers flow, diversity blooms, ecosystems thrive. The river is not just water, it's a universe, a world, teeming with peaceful existence. The silence wraps around you gently. And you're part of this ecosystem too, floating, drifting. Your breath is like the river's flow, your heartbeat like gentle ripples. You belong here, in this peace, in this flow, in this perfect moment of rest. Your breathing slows naturally. Many fish in rivers are surprisingly gentle. Manatees, sometimes called sea cows, actually live in rivers too, slow-moving, peaceful herbivores that float through the water, grazing on water plants. They have no natural predators, they harm nothing, they simply exist, in perfect gentle peace. And right now, you're like a manatee, floating, drifting, at complete ease, in warm water, perfectly safe, perfectly calm. Deeper, deeper you sink. River dolphins exist in several rivers around the world, The Ganges River dolphin, the Amazon River dolphin, the Yangtze River dolphin. These are freshwater dolphins, adapted to rivers instead of oceans. They navigate murky water using echolocation, sound instead of sight, trusting their senses, trusting the river, swimming through darkness with complete confidence. And you are learning this trust now, trusting the darkness of sleep, trusting the river of dreams to carry you safely, peacefully home. Everything feels perfectly still. The riverbank beside you is soft with moss, green and cushioning. Ferns unfurl in the shade, their fronds creating patterns like fractals, like dreams. Wildflowers grow in sunny patches, nodding in the breeze. Everything growing, everything thriving, because the river flows nearby, bringing life, bringing water, bringing the gift of continuation. The silence wraps around you gently. And here's something beautiful. Salmon return to their birth rivers to spawn, swimming hundreds of miles upstream, returning home. They remember the unique chemical signature of their home river, imprinted on them when they were young. This is instinct, deeper than thought, the pull of home, the call of peace. And you're answering that call now, swimming home, to rest, to peace, to deep, healing, sleep. Your breathing slows naturally. And listen, really listen, to the sound of the river. The gentle lapping of water against stones, the soft gurgle as it flows over obstacles, the quiet whisper of current. These sounds have been scientifically shown to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, calm racing thoughts. The frequency of flowing water creates what's called pink noise, a sound pattern that helps the brain transition into sleep. Everything feels perfectly still. The sound wraps around you, through you. You're not just hearing the river, you're becoming it. Your mind is like the river's surface, thoughts moving across it like ripples, appearing, flowing, disappearing into the peaceful depths. Nothing stays, everything passes, and underneath, always, there's stillness, peace, the quiet flow of just being. Ancient peoples understood this. They built temples near rivers, not just for the water, but for the sound. The Greeks, the Romans, the Chinese, all knew that the sound of water is the sound of peace, of meditation, of connection to something eternal. They would sit beside rivers, listening, letting the water's wisdom flow into them. The silence wraps around you gently. Even when the river is silent, when it flows so smoothly that it makes no sound, there's still something you feel more than hear, a presence, a peace, like the river is breathing, and you're breathing with it, in, out, flowing, resting, peaceful. Your breathing slows naturally. And different rivers make different sounds. Mountain streams tumble and splash, creating bright rushing sounds, full of energy. Lowland rivers flow slowly, their sound deep and soothing, almost subsonic, vibrating through the earth. And delta channels, where rivers meet the sea, make almost no sound at all, just the quiet lap of brackish water, the whisper of grasses, the call of distant birds. Each river has its own voice, its own song, and all of them sing you towards sleep. Deeper, deeper you drift. The sound of your river, the one you're floating on now, is perfect, exactly what you need. It might be a gentle rushing, or a quiet murmur, or complete stillness. It doesn't matter, because whatever it is, it's carrying you peacefully toward rest, toward toward dreams, toward the deep quiet of perfect sleep. Everything feels perfectly still. And here's something wonderful. Waterfalls create negative ions, particles that increase oxygen flow to the brain, improve mood, reduce stress. This is why being near waterfalls, or rivers, or any moving water, makes you feel so good. It's not just psychological, it's chemical, physical. Your body actually responds to the presence of water with relaxation, with peace, with the release of tension. The silence wraps around you gently. Even just imagining water, thinking of a river, floating as you are now, creates some of these same effects. Your mind is so powerful that visualization alone can trigger relaxation responses, can slow your heart rate, can flood your system with peaceful chemistry. You don't need to be at a physical river, because this river, the one in your mind, is just as real, just as peaceful, just as effective at carrying you into sleep. Your breathing slows naturally. And rivers give so much, without being asked, without expecting anything in return. They provide water for drinking, for millions of people, billions of people around the world. Rivers irrigate crops, feeding humanity. They transport nutrients, spreading fertility across floodplains, creating some of the richest soil on Earth. Everything feels perfectly still. The Nile River, for thousands of years, flooded annually, depositing black silt across Egypt. This is why ancient Egypt thrived in the desert. The river brought life, brought richness, brought abundance. The Egyptians called their land Kemet, the Black Land, referring to this fertile soil. Gift of the river, gift of flow, gift of water, finding its way. The Mississippi River carries sediment from 31 states, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, where it's building new land, creating islands, expanding the delta. The river is literally making earth, building ground, through patient, eternal deposition. Grain by grain, season after season, the river creates, transforms, renews. The silence wraps around you gently. You are like a river too, flowing through your life, carrying gifts, dropping them where they're needed, creating, building, contributing, just by being, just by flowing, just by existing. You don't have to try to be valuable. You already are, like the river, inherently, perfectly enough. Your breathing slows naturally. Rivers create habitats, wetlands, marshes, riparian zones. These are some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth, teeming with life. Birds nest in riverside trees, insects hatch from the water, amphibians live between water and land. Everything connected, everything supported by the river's presence, by its gentle, constant flow. Deeper, deeper you float. And here's something peaceful to know. The water in rivers is incredibly old. The same water has been cycling through Earth's systems for billions of years. The water you're floating on now might once have been part of an ancient sea, might have fallen as rain on dinosaurs, might have been drunk by your ancestors. Water is eternal, recycling, renewing, never lost, only changing form. And you are mostly water too, ancient water, flowing, existing, part of the eternal cycle. Everything feels perfectly still. Rivers also moderate climate. They absorb heat in summer, release it in winter, creating microclimates along their banks. Areas near rivers are often more comfortable, more temperate than surrounding lands. The river is like a grandmother, gently regulating, keeping things balanced, offering comfort, offering consistency, offering the peace of stability. The silence wraps around you gently. The Ganges River is considered holy by millions. People travel there to bathe, to pray, to release the ashes of loved ones. They believe the river purifies, cleanses, carries souls to peace. And whether you believe this literally or metaphorically, there's truth in it. Water does cleanse, does renew, does carry things away, including your worries, your stress, your tension. Let the river carry them now. Let them flow away, downstream, dissolving, disappearing into peace. Your breathing slows naturally. And here's something beautiful. When rivers meet, when tributaries join the main flow, they don't always mix immediately. Sometimes two rivers, flowing side by side in the same channel, remain distinct for miles. You can see the line between them, different colors, different temperatures, different speeds, flowing together, but separate, gradually, so gradually, blending into one. Everything feels perfectly still. The meeting of waters, in Brazil, where the Rio Negro and the Rio Solimões join to form the Amazon. They flow side by side, for over 3 miles, the Negro's dark water, beside the Solimões' sandy brown, clearly visible, distinct, before finally merging. This is patience, this is respect, this is the gentle art of becoming one, without force, without rush, just time and flow. The silence wraps around you gently. And you are like these rivers. Many parts, many currents, all flowing together to create you. Your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your dreams, all separate streams, joining, flowing together in the channel of your being. And that's okay. You don't have to force them to merge, to be one. Just let them flow, side by side, peaceful, distinct yet together. Your breathing slows naturally. Confluences, the places where rivers meet, are often sacred, considered powerful, liminal spaces. Places of transformation, of change, of becoming more. To become one, yet both remain. This is the mystery, the magic of water, of flow, of letting go into something larger, something greater, while still remaining yourself. Deeper, deeper you drift. And rivers constantly receive, accepting every stream, every brook, every trickle that flows into them, without judgment, without rejection. The river doesn't say you're too small, or your water isn't clean enough. It simply receives, includes, becomes larger, more powerful, more abundant, by accepting everything that comes. Everything feels perfectly still. Imagine being like the river, accepting all parts of yourself, all your tributaries, your joy and your sorrow, your strength and your weakness, your light and your shadow, all flowing together, creating the unique river that is you. Nothing rejected, nothing pushed away, all welcomed, all accepted, all part of the flow. The silence wraps around you gently. And this is healing, this acceptance, this allowing. When you stop fighting parts of yourself, stop trying to dam up certain feelings, stop forcing things to be different, that's when peace comes. That's when you can flow, like a river, natural, easy, complete. Your breathing slows naturally. Rivers also split, not just merge. They form distributaries, branches of the main channel, spreading out, especially near the ocean, creating deltas, fans of water, spreading across the land. Many fingers, reaching, touching, connecting. But all still part of the same river, all still carrying the same water home. Everything feels perfectly still. And this brings us to something peaceful. The delta, where the river finally, after hundreds or thousands of miles, meets the sea. This is the river's destination, its home, its rest. The water slows, deposits its sediment, creates new land, and then releases into the ocean, becoming part of something even larger, even more vast, even more eternal. The silence wraps around you gently. The Mississippi River Delta, the Nile Delta, the Ganges Delta. These are places of extraordinary richness, where river-carried nutrients support incredible life. Fisheries thrive there, birds flock there by millions, civilizations flourished there. The delta is abundance, is culmination, is the gift of the river's entire journey, deposited, shared, given freely. Your breathing slows naturally. And here's something soothing. Deltas are constantly changing, growing, shrinking, shifting. Yet they remain deltas, remain themselves. Change is their nature, transformation is their essence. They teach us that we can change constantly and still remain ourselves, still be home. Deeper, deeper you float, approaching your own delta, your own place of rest. You've been flowing all day, perhaps all week, all your life, carrying things, moving forward, and now it's time to rest, to slow, to deposit your burdens, and release, into peace, into sleep, into the vast ocean of rest. Everything feels perfectly still. In the delta, the river water mixes with ocean water, fresh meets salt, creating brackish water, a unique environment, neither fully river nor fully sea, but something new, something in between. And you're in that place now, between waking and sleeping, neither fully conscious nor fully dreaming, but floating in the peaceful in-between, the liminal space, where transformation happens, where rest begins. The silence wraps around you gently. Some rivers have such large deltas that you can't see across them, can't see where river ends and sea begins. Just water stretching to the horizon, peaceful, vast, eternal. This is where you are now, in that vastness, no boundaries, no edges, just peace, just water, just flow. Your breathing slows naturally. And eventually, the river water completely merges with the ocean, becomes indistinguishable, loses its identity, yet doesn't disappear. It's still there, still water, just part of something greater. And this too is peace. Letting go of separation, of individual identity, dissolving into the greater whole, becoming ocean, becoming everything, becoming one. Everything feels perfectly still. But the story doesn't end there, because the river never truly ends. The water that flows into the ocean evaporates, rises into the sky, becomes clouds, travels inland, and falls as rain on mountains, on fields, on forests, seeping into earth, bubbling up as springs, beginning again, the cycle, eternal, unbroken, forever. The silence wraps around you gently. This is the water cycle, and it means that all water is connected. The rain falling today might have been part of the Amazon last year, might be part of the Ganges next year, might be flowing through you right now, as you breathe, as your heart pumps, as your cells function. You are part of the cycle, part of the flow, part of the eternal river of existence. Your breathing slows naturally. Scientists estimate that all the water on Earth has cycled through this process countless times. Every drop has been rain, has been river, has been ocean, has been cloud, over and over for billions of years. Nothing is lost, everything returns, everything continues. This is the promise of the river: continuity, eternity, peace. Deeper, deeper you rest. And knowing this, you can let go completely. Because even in letting go, even in sleep, even in the dissolution of waking consciousness, you don't disappear. You transform, you cycle, you continue, like water, like rivers, like the eternal flow of existence itself. Everything feels perfectly still. The river teaches that movement and peace can coexist. The river is always moving, yet always at peace, always flowing, yet always itself. This is the paradox, the beautiful truth. You don't have to stop to find peace. You just have to stop resisting the flow. The silence wraps around you gently. Ancient philosophers understood this. Heraclitus said, "You cannot step in the same river twice. Because the river is always changing, the water always new. Yet it's still the same river, still flowing, still itself. Change is the only constant, flow is the only truth." And in accepting this, in flowing with this, there is profound, deep, eternal peace. Your breathing slows naturally. Rivers have no fear of reaching the sea. They don't cling to being a river, don't resist becoming ocean. They simply flow, trusting that whatever comes next is exactly right, exactly perfect, exactly what should be. And you, right now, can trust like this. Trust that sleep, that dreams, that letting go is safe, is right, is perfect. Everything feels perfectly still. Let's visit some rivers now, gentle rivers, famous for their peace. The Seine, flowing through Paris, gentle and wide, with stone embankments and bridges arching gracefully overhead. People sit beside the Seine, reading, talking quietly, watching the water, finding peace in the heart of the city. The river, making even urban space peaceful. The silence wraps around you gently. The River Thames, winding through London, tidal, rising and falling, with the ocean's rhythm. This river has witnessed thousands of years of human history, yet it still flows, patient, eternal, unchanged in essence, though everything around it has transformed. The river, outlasting empires, outlasting everything, just flowing. Your breathing slows naturally. The Yangtze River, in China, the longest river in Asia, flowing from the Tibetan Plateau, all the way to the East China Sea. 3,900 miles of patient flow. Through mountains, through gorges, through plains, always moving, always finding its way. The Yangtze is called the Long River in Chinese. Simply, the Long River, as if no other description is needed. Just length, just flow, just existence. Deeper, deeper you drift. The Danube River, flowing through 10 countries, more than any other river in the world. Connecting, bridging, uniting. The river doesn't recognize borders, doesn't stop at boundaries, just flows, from Germany to the Black Sea, carrying water, carrying peace, carrying the gift of connection. All borders are human invention. The river knows only flow, only continuity, only oneness. Everything feels perfectly still. The Jordan River, sacred to 3 religions, flowing from Mount Hermon, through the Sea of Galilee, to the Dead Sea. It's not a large river, not particularly long, yet it carries enormous meaning, enormous peace, for millions. Sometimes, size doesn't matter. Sometimes, a small river, a quiet river, a humble river, carries more peace than the mightiest flood. And you don't have to be great to be peaceful. You just have to flow. The silence wraps around you gently. The Mekong River, in Southeast Asia, flowing through 6 countries, supporting 60 million people. It's called the Mother of Waters in some languages. Providing, nurturing, sustaining, like a mother, asking nothing, giving everything. And the river you're floating on now is being a mother to you, holding you, carrying you, keeping you safe as you drift towards sleep. Your breathing slows naturally. Each of these rivers is different, unique, special, yet all are rivers, all flow, all carry water to the sea, all complete the cycle. All teach the same lesson. Flow, trust, let go, move forward, yet remain peaceful. This is wisdom available to anyone who takes time to listen, to watch, to float on river water and simply be. Everything feels perfectly still. Rivers exist in a different time than we do. River time is slow, measured in seasons, in years, in centuries. A river doesn't count days, doesn't rush, doesn't worry about time. It simply flows, day after day, year after year, millennium after millennium, the same, yet always different, eternal, yet always new. The silence wraps around you gently. Geologists speak of rivers in terms of millions of years. The Colorado River, carving the Grand Canyon, took 6 million years. 6 million years of patient flowing, of water moving over stone, grain by grain, creating one of Earth's greatest wonders. Not through force, not through violence, but through gentle, persistent, eternal flow. Your breathing slows naturally. And you, right now, can tap into river time, can slow down into that deep rhythm, that eternal pace. There's no hurry, no deadline, no race. Just this moment, and this one, flowing one into the next, like water, like breath, like the gentle progress towards sleep. Deeper, deeper you rest. Rivers teach us about patience, about persistence, about the power of showing up day after day, continuing, not giving up, just flowing. Whether anyone watches, whether anyone appreciates, whether anyone knows, the river flows. Because that's what rivers do. That's their nature, their essence, their truth. Everything feels perfectly still. And in flood season, rivers swell, overflow their banks, become powerful, vast. Yet they don't become different rivers. They're still the same river, just in a different state. And in dry season, they shrink, become smaller, quieter, more intimate. Yet still the same river, still flowing, still themselves. Through abundance and scarcity, through flood and drought, the river continues, adapts, persists. This is resilience, this is strength, this is peace. The silence wraps around you gently. You too go through seasons. Times of abundance, times of scarcity, times of power, times of quiet. And through all of them, you remain yourself, still flowing, still continuing, still moving forward, even when it feels like you're not, even when progress seems invisible, you're still flowing, still moving, still on your way home. Your breathing slows naturally. The river doesn't judge itself in drought, doesn't criticize itself for being small. It just flows with what it has, doing what it can, being what it is. And this is enough. This is always enough. You don't have to be in flood to be valuable. You don't have to overflow to matter. You just have to be and flow, and that is perfect. Everything feels perfectly still. Night falls now over your river. The sky deepens from blue to indigo to black. Stars emerge, one by one, reflected in the water, making it seem like you're floating through the cosmos, through infinity. The river becomes a mirror, reflecting heaven, connecting earth and sky, in perfect, peaceful stillness. The silence wraps around you gently. At night, rivers become different, mysterious, magical. The sounds change, become more pronounced, in the darkness. The gentle lap of water, the distant call of a night bird, the soft rustle of nocturnal creatures coming to drink. Everything quieter, softer, more intimate. Night is the river's private time. It's time to rest, to slow, to dream. Your breathing slows naturally. And here's something beautiful. At night, rivers become highways for nocturnal animals. Otters hunt, beavers work on their lodges, fish rise to feed on insects. The river never sleeps, yet it rests. It continues its flow, but somehow more peacefully, more gently, as if respecting the night, the darkness, the universal time for rest. Deeper, deeper you float. The temperature changes at night. The water, which absorbed sun all day, now releases that heat, slowly, creating mist, fog, that hovers above the surface, ghostly, beautiful, magical. You float through this mist, feeling it cool on your skin, seeing it swirl around you, dreamlike, perfect. You're between worlds now, between water and air, between waking and sleeping, between conscious and unconscious, floating in the mist of peace. Everything feels perfectly still. The moon rises, perhaps full, perhaps a crescent, spilling silver light across the water, creating a path, a glimmering road, leading somewhere unknown, somewhere peaceful, somewhere you don't need to understand, only follow. The moon, pulling the tides, affecting water everywhere, even here, in this river. This is connection, this is influence, this is how everything touches everything, in subtle, invisible, powerful ways. The silence wraps around you gently. Indigenous peoples around the world have always known that rivers are most powerful at night. That the spirit of the river emerges then, moving in the darkness, blessing, healing, transforming. Whether you believe in river spirits literally, or understand this as metaphor, it's true. Night transforms rivers, makes them more themselves, more essential, more magical. Your breathing slows naturally. You can barely see now, in the darkness, but you feel everything, the gentle support of water, the soft movement of current, the cool night air on your face. Seeing is not necessary. Knowing is not necessary. Only feeling, only being, only flowing, in darkness, in trust, in perfect peace. Everything feels perfectly still. And now, something shifts. You're not just floating on the river anymore. You're becoming it. Your boundaries dissolving, your sense of separate self fading. Your water now flowing, merging, endless. The silence wraps around you gently. You flow around stones, patient, gentle. Not fighting them, not trying to move them, just flowing around, over time, wearing them smooth, shaping them with patience, with time, with the gentle persistence of endless flow. Your breathing slows naturally. You carry things, leaves, fallen from trees, bits of bark, memories, dreams, all floating on your surface. You don't cling to them, don't try to keep them. You just carry them for a while, then release them, letting them wash up on some bank, somewhere downstream. Everything flows through you, nothing stays. And this is freedom, this is peace. Deeper you flow. You're wide now, in some places, hundreds of feet across, and shallow, only inches deep. Sun or moonlight penetrating to your bottom, warming the stones, warming the sand. In other places, you're narrow, but deep, mysterious, dark even in daylight. Both are you, both are perfect, both are needed. Shallow and deep, wide and narrow, all part of the same river, all part of you. Everything feels perfectly still. You flow past villages, past cities, past wilderness. You witness everything, hold everything in your flow, but don't judge, don't categorize, don't label. You simply witness, simply carry, simply flow. This is wisdom, this is peace, this is the art of being, without judging, accepting, without deciding, flowing, without resisting. The silence wraps around you gently. And you, as river, are timeless. The water flowing through you now is different water than flowed an hour ago, a day ago, a year ago. Yet you are the same river, always yourself, even as everything changes. This is the truth of all existence. We are both the changing water and the eternal river, both temporary and forever. Your breathing slows naturally. You nourish everything you touch. Plants grow along your banks, their roots drinking from you. Fish live in you, feeding, breeding, being. Birds drink from you, animals bathe in you. You give to all, asking nothing, expecting nothing. This is love, this is generosity, this is what you are when you flow, when you let go, when you simply exist as peace. Everything feels perfectly still. And now, though you're far downstream, though you're wide and deep and peaceful, you remember your source, that spring, high in the mountains, where you began. That single drop, that first trickle. You're still that even though you're this. Both, beginning and middle and end, all existing, simultaneously, all true, all real, all you. The silence wraps around you gently. And here's something miraculous to understand. Every drop of water in you came from that source, traveled from there to here. Every drop on the same journey, moving together, supporting each other, becoming you. This is community, this is unity, this is how separate drops become river. Your breathing slows naturally. You flow toward the sea, always toward the sea, pulled by gravity, by destiny, by the completion that awaits. And you're not afraid. You've been flowing toward this since the beginning. The sea is not an ending. It's a transformation, a reunion, a return to the source of all sources, the mother of all waters. You're going home. Deeper, deeper you flow. The land flattens. The current slows. You're spreading out now, becoming delta, dropping your sediment, creating land, creating abundance. Your gift for the journey. Your legacy for the world. You don't need to be remembered, don't need credit, don't need acknowledgement. You just give, because that's what rivers do. That's what water does. That's what love is. Everything feels perfectly still. The salt smell reaches you now. Ocean, close, very close. You can feel it, calling you, welcoming you. And you're ready. You've flowed so far, carried so much, witnessed so much. And now, it's time to rest, to merge, to become ocean. The silence wraps around you gently. The fresh water you are meets the salt water of the sea. At first, you remain distinct, flowing into the ocean, but still yourself, still river water. But gradually, slowly, you mix, you blend, you merge. Fresh and salt, dancing together, becoming brackish, becoming something new, neither entirely one, nor the other, but both, transformed, complete. Your breathing slows naturally. And then, your ocean. Vast, deep, eternal. No longer river, yet still water, still yourself, just more. You thought reaching the ocean meant losing yourself, but instead, you find yourself, expanded, limitless, free. This is the ultimate letting go, the ultimate peace, the ultimate rest. Everything feels perfectly still. Your ocean now, floating in salt water. The river journey complete. The flowing, done. Now, there's only vast stillness, gentle rising and falling, the rhythm of tides, of waves, of the earth's breath. You're held, completely, by water, by peace, by the great mother of all life. The silence wraps around you gently. And the ocean says, thank you for your water, thank you for your gifts, thank you for the sediment, the nutrients, the life you carried from the mountains, from the forests, from the heartland, all the way to me. And you, as river, as water, feel complete, fulfilled, at peace. Your breathing slows naturally. The ocean is deeper than you've ever been. Darker. More vast. And yet, you're not afraid. Because you're part of it now. You are it. There's no separation, no boundary, no line, where river ends and ocean begins. You've dissolved, transformed, become one, with everything. Deeper, deeper you float, in ocean peace. And the fish swim by, different fish, ocean fish, whales, dolphins, sharks, all living in peace, in this vast water. This is not the intimate peace of the river. This is cosmic peace, infinite peace, the peace of dissolving into everything. Everything feels perfectly still. The ocean floor, far below, is covered in sediment, river sediment, carried here over millennia, by you, by countless rivers, all contributing, all giving, building the ocean bottom, creating habitat, creating home for countless creatures. The river's last gift, settling, slowly, peacefully, to rest. The silence wraps around you gently. And here, in the ocean, you understand something profound. You understand that the river was never separate from the ocean. Water is water. Whether in mountains, in rivers, in seas, it's all one water, one substance, cycling, transforming, but never truly separate. Your breathing slows naturally, and you realize you are all of it. You are the drop in the river, in the ocean. You are the cycle, in the flow, in the stillness. All of it existing simultaneously in you. You are water in all its forms, in all its states, eternal, changing, perfect, peace. Everything feels perfectly still. And now, the sun warms you, sun on ocean surface. And you begin to evaporate, rising, becoming vapor, becoming air, lighter than you've ever been. Rising up, up, leaving the ocean, leaving behind salt, impurities, becoming pure water again, pure essence, rising to the sky. The silence wraps around you gently. You're mist now, fog, hovering over the ocean, neither fully water, nor fully air, but something between, something transitional, something peaceful. You drift on air currents, moving, floating, free. No weight, no boundaries, just being, just rising. Your breathing slows naturally. Higher you rise, warmer air, lifting you, carrying you. You're a cloud now, joined with countless other drops, all of you, evaporated from oceans, from rivers, from lakes, all gathered together, floating in sky, white and soft, and peaceful. You drift over the ocean, then over land, over forests, over fields, following the wind, going where you're carried, trusting, completely. Deeper, deeper into the sky. And here's something beautiful. From up here, you can see everything. The rivers below, like silver threads, weaving through the landscape, connecting mountains to oceans, forests to plains, all connected, all flowing. The rivers don't look separate from here. They look like veins, like arteries, like the Earth's circulatory system, carrying life, carrying water, carrying peace everywhere. Everything feels perfectly still. You're so high now, so peaceful. Just a tiny drop in a vast cloud, yet you feel infinite. You feel free. You've been ice, been water, been river, been ocean, been vapor, been cloud. You've been every form, every state, every possibility of water. And each one was perfect, each one was peace. The silence wraps around you gently. The wind pushes your cloud over mountains, the same mountains where you began so long ago, when you were spring, when you were first trickle. You're coming home, completing the circle, returning to the source. This is the cycle, eternal, unbroken, beautiful. Your breathing slows naturally, and the temperature drops. The air grows cold, and you, as water vapor, begin to condense, clinging to dust particles, forming larger drops, heavier drops. And then, you fall. Released. Dropping through sky. Becoming rain. Returning to earth, gentle, soft, peaceful, rain. Everything feels perfectly still. Your rain now, falling. Each drop, a tiny world. Falling through air, toward earth, toward home. You don't know where you'll land, don't know what will happen next, but you trust. You fall, peacefully, perfectly, surrendered, to gravity, to destiny, to the beautiful unfolding of what will be. The silence wraps around you gently. Some drops fall in the ocean and merge back immediately. Their cycle quick, simple. Others fall on land, on leaves, on soil, on stone. Each landing, different, each fate, unique. And you fall on a mountain, on moss, on the very spring where you began. Your breathing slows naturally. You soak into earth, into moss, into the aquifer below. Slowly filtering, moving through rock and soil, being purified, becoming clean, becoming clear. Finding your way to that spring, that source where you first emerged. And then, one day, you bubble up, and you're there. You're at the beginning, again. Ready to flow, ready to journey, ready to be river once more. Deeper, deeper you rest. And here's the beautiful truth. This cycle never ends. You'll fall as rain, seep into earth, emerge as spring, flow as river, merge with ocean, rise as vapor, form clouds, fall as rain, forever and ever. Eternal cycle, eternal flow, eternal peace. This is immortality. This is eternity. This is the promise that nothing is ever truly lost. Everything feels perfectly still. You understand now. You are the cycle. You are water in all its forms. You are the journey and the destination. You are the flow and the stillness. You are everything and nothing and both and neither. You are peace itself. The silence wraps around you gently. And as you rest at the source, about to begin again, you realize you're not tired. This journey, this endless cycle, doesn't exhaust you. It is you. It's not something you do, it's what you are. Flow is your nature. Peace is your essence. You don't have to try, don't have to work. You just have to be water and let the cycle unfold. Your breathing slows naturally. You think back to all you've been. Mountain spring, babbling brook, gentle stream, wide river, powerful current, peaceful delta, vast ocean, sky vapor, soft cloud, falling rain. And back to spring. Each stage, perfect. Each moment, complete. Each state, peaceful. Nothing wasted, nothing lost, everything exactly as it should be. Everything feels perfectly still. And now, you can rest, truly rest. Because you understand. There's nowhere you need to go that you won't eventually reach. Nothing you need to become that you aren't already. Everything you've been, you still are. Everything you'll be, you already are. All of it exists now, in this moment, in you. The silence wraps around you gently. The river taught you flow. The ocean taught you vastness. The rain taught you surrender. The cycle taught you eternity. And now rest teaches you completion, wholeness, peace. Your breathing slows naturally. So slow now, barely breathing. Like the still pool at the river's source, where water rests before beginning its journey. You're there now, in that stillness, that perfect pause between ending and beginning. You're resting, completely, deeply, at peace. Deeper, deeper you rest. Your body, so heavy, like water-saturated earth. Your mind, so quiet, like a still pond. Your breath, so gentle, like mist, rising, falling, barely perceptible. You're dissolving into rest, into sleep, into the deep peace of water at rest. Everything feels perfectly still. And you know that when you wake, you'll flow again. You'll move through your day like a river. You'll encounter obstacles and flow around them. You'll receive tributaries, merge with others. You'll carry things and release them. You'll just flow. Because that's what water does. That's what you do. That's your nature, your truth, your peace. The silence wraps around you gently. But for now, for this night, for these hours ahead, you rest. You're the still pool, the quiet source, the deep aquifer, beneath everything. You're water at rest, gathering, renewing, preparing. But mostly, just resting. Just being. Just peace. Your breathing slows naturally. Sleep is coming, like rain, soft and inevitable. You can feel it, approaching, surrounding you, about to fall. And you welcome it. You're ready. You've flowed so far today, carried so much, and now, it's time. Time to rest. Time to sleep. Time to let go, completely, into the deep peaceful darkness of night. Everything feels perfectly still. So still. So quiet. You're barely aware now. Consciousness fading, like mist burning off in morning sun. Awareness dissolving, like a drop into ocean. You're letting go of being someone, something separate. You're becoming sleep, becoming peace, becoming nothing and everything. The silence wraps around you gently. Complete silence now. Not even the river makes sound. Just perfect, infinite silence. And in that silence, everything rests. Everything sleeps. Everything returns to source. You're there now, at the source, at the beginning, at the center of perfect stillness. Your breathing slows naturally. Or perhaps you're not breathing anymore. Perhaps your body breathes, while you, the essential you, floats free. Released from form, from identity, from awareness. Just existing, like water, like air, like the space between stars. Present, but not present. Here, but nowhere. Everything and nothing at all. Deeper, deeper, deeper. No words now. Words dissolving like everything else. Just peace, just flow, just sleep, sleep, sleep. Everything feels perfectly still. So perfectly still. No movement, no sound, no thought, no awareness. Just being. Just rest. Just the eternal peace of water at source, before flow, after flow, between flow. Always peace. The silence wraps around you gently. Wraps, holds, embraces. You're held so gently by silence, by darkness, by peace. Held, safe, warm, complete. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to be. Just held, just resting, just sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. Your breathing slows naturally. Slows, fades, becomes invisible, becomes silence, becomes peace. You are breathing. You are sleep. You are peace. No separation, no difference, no boundary. Just oneness, just completeness, just rest. Everything feels perfectly still. And if there's any part of you still holding on, still trying, still aware, you can let go now. Let go completely. There's nothing left to do. Nothing left to think. Nothing left to be. Just let go, fall, dissolve into sleep. The silence wraps around you gently. So gently. Like water. Like mother. Like home. This silence will hold you all night long. This peace will keep you safe and warm. You can surrender completely. You are so safe, so held, so loved, by silence, by darkness, by sleep. Your breathing slows naturally. Slow, slower, slowest. Barely breath. Barely life. Just the minimum needed to continue while you drift away, float away, dissolve away, into sleep, into dreams, into the infinite ocean of rest. Deeper, deeper, deeper. So deep now. Fathoms deep. Ocean deep. Peace deep. Sleep deep. Beyond light, beyond sound, beyond thought, beyond awareness. Just existing in pure, perfect, timeless sleep. Everything feels perfectly still. Nothing moves. Nothing stirs. Nothing exists except peace, except silence, except the eternal now of perfect, complete, absolute rest. The silence wraps around you gently. And you are that silence. You are that peace. You are that rest. Not experiencing it, not in it, but being it. You are sleep. You are peace. You are the river, returned to source, dissolved in ocean, evaporated to sky, fallen as rain, completed, whole, at rest, sleep, sleep, sleep. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Peace, peace, peace. Water, flowing, resting, being. You, sleeping, dreaming, peaceful. Silence, holding, keeping, loving. Darkness, soft, warm, safe. Breath, barely, gently, slowly. Heart, beating, peaceful, quiet. Body resting, heavy, still. Mind floating, dissolving, gone. Sleep, sleep, sleep. River, ocean, rain, source. Cycle, eternal, perfect, complete. You, water, peace, sleep. Nothing, everything, here, nowhere. Just sleep, just peace, just rest. 105:00 final fade. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Peace. Rest. Water. Flow. Home. Sleep. As you drift deeper into sleep now, completely relaxed, remember this peaceful journey can return whenever you need it. If this soothing story helped you relax tonight, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new calming sleep story every week. Sweet dreams, rest deeply, sleep now, peacefully, completely. Sleep, 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 good night, water flows, you rest, peace eternal, sleep forever, in this moment, this perfect, complete moment of peace. Sleep, sleep, sleep.